now is I'm going to look at a plot of land at Kings Island, and I'm going to put a coaster that used to be there or the current one. Flight of Fear's plot of land, I'm going to leave Flight of Fear there, as I'm not really sure what other coasters used to be here. But Flight of Fear has a decent launch. It's not a super, punchy launch, but it's good enough. It gets you some decent speed. The main problem I have with Flight of Fear is not the launch or anything like that. It's more like the way, the mid-course brake run just slows it down too much. It has very slow pacing, and the pacing towards the end is bad. Next is the Orion plot of land. This could either be Orion or Firehawk, but I'm going to stick with Orion. Orion replaced Firehawk back in 2020 after Firehawk was torn down after the 2018 season. Orion looks like the better ride, and I've heard Orion is definitely a better ride than Firehawk. People still enjoyed Firehawk, and I'm sad it had to go, but Orion was definitely a worthy replacement and probably the better roller coaster. Next is the Racer plot of land, and the only ride that's been there is the Racer. So obviously the Racer gets to stay. The Racer is a very enjoyable wooden roller coaster. It opened with the park and really jump-started Kings Island. This is known for restarting the golden age of roller coasters, and without it we wouldn't really have Kings Island. So there's not really much, and I don't ever see Kings Island getting rid of it. So yeah. Next is the Vortex plot of land, and there was two options here, the 1981 Bat or Vortex, but I'm going to go with Vortex. Vortex closed in 2019, and this was an aero looping roller coaster. This opened with the most inversions in 1987 with 6, and looks like a very enjoyable ride, and similar to the other mega looping roller coasters of that time. Vortex was probably one of the best, and is a sorely missed attraction at Kings Island. And that plot of land looks very empty without it. Rest in peace, Vortex. Next is the Mystic Timbers plot. And Mystic Timbers is obviously going to stay here because this has been the only really coaster there. And there's not many coasters that can compete with Mystic Timbers. Mystic Timbers has insane airtime for a wooden roller coaster. It's very smooth compared to other wooden roller coasters I've been on. And there's some newer wooden roller coasters that have gotten rougher way quicker than Mystic has. Next is the Diamondback plot of land, and Diamondback is to stay. Diamondback is one of the best rides at Kings Island, has insane floater airtime, and probably is one of the smoothest, if not the smoothest ride at Kings Island. It has a slight rattle, like the slightest of rattle, and it only gets bad after many rides. I would say 5 or 6 rides on Diamondback in a row, not in a day. If you ride Diamondback once and take a break, it'll be fine. Diamondback is insanely good and is glossy smooth. Next is Banshee. Banshee is getting replaced. Banshee gets replaced by Son of Beast. Son of Beast opened in 2000 as the world's tallest, fastest, and only looping wooden roller coaster. The loop was removed in 2006 after an incident sent 27 riders to the hospital and was closed after a woman suffered a head injury on the ride. So we're bringing it back and replacing Banshee. Next is the Beast plot of land, and obviously the Beast gets to stay. In my most recent video, I put this down as Kings Island's biggest success of all time, and I stand by that. The Beast is one of the best rides at Kings Island, and really started Kings Island off with its first monster of a roller coaster. This has an insane ending double helix with that shed at the end, and this would really be great if it still had the sun with it. Next is the Adventure Express plot of land. Adventure Express gets to stay. This is an amazing family ride. It's great for young kids, and it's just an aero mine train. You know what they are. They're kind of have bad transitions. They're kind of janky. They're not the best rides in the world, but they do a job and they do it well. Adventure Express is probably one of the best mine trains and starts off better than it ends. Next is the Bat plot of land, and the Bat gets to stay. Even though I think that if I had to go back, even though there's similar attractions, I would take Top Gun over the Bat just because of the theming. But I'm going to stick with the Bat just because that's what most Kings Island fans know, as Top Gun is not as well known of attraction because it's not still there. And the Bat is a good tribute to the old Bat that I did not bring back because Vortex was just a better attraction, but the Bat is still a very intense ride experience. Next is the Invertigo plot of land, and Invertigo gets to stay. I was thinking of maybe replacing it, and I think this is true. I think that the Screaming Demon was in or near that area, and I thought about putting that back, but I decided Invertigo probably some more intense ride, as Screaming Demon was one of the first launch coasters, and probably wasn't as enjoyable as this is. Next is the Delirium plot of land, and this is the final plot of land we're going to look at. Even though it's not a coaster used to be in this area, and it was between this and King Cobra, but I think that a good flat ride is better than an average roller coaster. That's why I decided to keep Delirium. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye guys, see you next time.